You ever have a day where you're so sure you're finally in the clear, new house keys in your pocket, the kind of hope that sticks to your ribs, and then before the echoes have even faded out of the living room, you're standing there with a roll of packing tape and a welcome wagon that looks like it rolled off a courthouse steps? Yeah, that happened. The very first time anybody ever tried to evict me, I hadn't even spent a night in the place, hadn't fried an egg, hadn't figured out which light switch did what. My name was barely dry on the deed the utilities were set for tomorrow, and I'm thinking maybe I'll finally feel settled for once, when here comes this parade marching up my walk like I'd accidentally invited them to brunch. The ringleader, she introduced herself as Geraldine, president of the Homeowners Association, had the kind of voice that made you feel like you'd done something wrong just by opening the door. Next to her, Troy, compliance chair, arms folded like he was hiding a traffic ticket, flanked by Minka and Seth with their clipboards held like shields. "Congratulations on your new home," Geraldine said, not even bothering to fake a smile. "We'll need you to sign your membership guarantee, no moving trucks until it's in hand." I blinked. What Troy jumps in with a paper full of bolded legalese, talking about a 100% written guarantee, join the association, pay dues, obey all the rules, current and future. We've had newcomers drag their feet. Can't have that. Man, I wore the same face I use at work when someone says I didn't change anything right before their computer explodes. I read the fine print binding pre-occupancy commitment. Basically, sign up for a club you haven't seen the rules for, or we'll boot you before you ever unpack. So I tell them, happy to look at your governing documents, but my purchase contract didn't say anything about an association. Geraldine sighs heavy like punctuation. "Oh, the documents are in process. Our attorney's finalizing a re-recording. We manage all properties here. It's custom. Recorded with the county, I ask, because I know enough to know what makes something official." They just stand there, not even blinking, while the wind shakes my sold sign like the universe is in on the joke. Minka finally pipes up. "We can't allow non-compliant owners to move in. We've had problems." Like what I ask. Wrong color door. Because honestly, I haven't even chosen a door color yet. I'm still at the collect paint sample stage. Geraldine steps forward. "Look, sign the guarantee. Give us a post-dated check for dues, an initial compliance assessment, put a deposit in a bond account, or else we issue a notice of intent to evict." We have fast-track procedures. She's handing me something that demands a cashier's check compliance bond consent to fines for anything they dream up now or ever. There's a line about unanimous consent of residents on file, which, let's be real, sounds like it was cooked up over coffee and fear. That's when I start recording on my phone. "Geraldine, I bought this house. The title's clean, no recorded covenants. If you have an association, fine. But if it's not on my deed or in the county records, you can't make me join. That's not how contracts work." Troy smirks like he just won a staring contest. "We have our ways. We've evicted people for less." And suddenly the relief of not living in an apartment anymore is gone. Just gone like it never happened. Now I've dealt with stubborn software and the kind of boss who'd put their name on your project at 200 a.m., but never anyone who tried to evict me based on clip art and confidence. I thank them for coming and tell them I'll get back to them. They don't leave. "We'll wait," Geraldine says, like my porch is a DMV lobby. So I go inside, call my title officer, put the phone on speaker. Hypothetical. I say if someone claims there's an association, but the title is clean, what then? She laughs. Real deep laugh. "If there's nothing in your chain of title, they can't force you. No certificate, no authority. Real associations send resale certificates at closing." I check my email. She sends the title packet, even a screenshot of the county records. Nothing. No CC plus Rs, no HOA. Next, I call Kia, my attorney friend. She doesn't even need the whole story. They're trying to pressure you into a contract that doesn't exist. If they block your move, that's interference, maybe even more. If they try to tow your truck off a public street, it's worse. Document everything. Call the sheriff if you have to. Then the best advice, give them what they want, but condition it. Guarantee you'll join if there's a legally recorded association. That's it. So I draft up my owner's conditional guarantee I'll join. If there's a recorded HOA in my chain of title bylaws, corporate filings, reserve study, minutes estoppel letter, the whole 9 yards. Otherwise, no dice. I hand it to Geraldine. Troy stares at it like it's written in code. This isn't the form. Well, your form wants me to sign away rights for rules I haven't seen. Mine's fair join if you've got the authority. Which would a judge prefer? Geraldine's eyes narrow. We're issuing a notice of intent. If your moving truck comes, we'll tow it. We work with a trusted partner. Public street, I say. Got a traffic order. Because towing a legal vehicle without police order is a crime. She grumbles. I close the door. My cooler's melting. My patience is running out. My phone buzzes. It's my agent. They tried this before. Self-appointed board. No covenants, nothing on record. Most people just pay because they don't know better. That first night I sleep on a mattress house, humming around me like a seashell promising, "This is yours." I'd busted my butt, worked 2 jobs, skipped plenty of dinners out just for this. But there's a stubborn streak in me, call it grit, call it my mule, that wakes up anytime someone tries to tell me what to do with something I own. Next morning, blue sky moving truck rumbling in and a fresh sign on my mailbox. No move-ins without HOA approval. It's centered like someone used a ruler and a threat. I peel it off, make a mental note to buy goo remover. Suddenly, tow truck idling at the end of the block, 2 guys in neon vests watching. I set up my tripod, hit the live backup on my phone call, the sheriff's non-emergency line. People are threatening to interfere with my move. I have the deed. No court order. Then, and I'm a little proud of this, I grab a cooler, walk up to the tow truck. Morning. Here for the HOA, one grunts. We get calls, the other says. Well, here's some water and here's some paperwork. Public street, no HOA, covenants, no police, no tow. Otherwise, you'll be on camera, and so will your company name. The driver glances at the paperwork, looks at his partner. We'll wait, he says. Up the block, Geraldine and Troy are handing out neon vests. Clipboard setting up a folding table on Minka's lawn like they're running for office nobody voted for. It's almost funny if it wasn't my day. Sheriff's deputy arrives, tall, calm, asks for my ID, my deed. He listens, doesn't write anything down, which, let's be honest, is sometimes a blessing. Then he walks over to Geraldine. Ma'am, do you have a court order? We have authority from the Homeowners Association, she insists. Palm on her stack of papers. Is the association recorded in this owner's chain of title? He asks. She hesitates. No court order, no recorded covenants. This is civil. You cannot block this truck. You may face charges if you try. Deputy's voice is soft, but it lands hard. Geraldine opens her mouth, closes it. Tow truck rolls off my mover, start unloading. Deputy nods, drives off. I send everything to consumer protection, screenshots, emails, sheriff's case number, the works. Then I tape a note to myself on my door. Remember to breathe. Buy goo remover. My soon-to-be neighbor Lark stops by. Cap stiff walk. Saw the show, he says, nodding at Minka's lawn. They do this to everyone now. Fined me for my dog's water bowl. Tried to lien my house, but there's no HOA in the deed. Why do people put up with this? Most folks just pay because they don't know it's voluntary, he says, or they're tired of fighting. That's not how this will go, I tell him. He just smiles, says, shout if you need help. By noon, my couch is in kettle setup, and I'm starting to picture quiet mornings, a garden neighbors who mind their business. My phone buzzes Geraldine again. We do not accept your so-called guarantee. Sign our form or we'll proceed. I reply, have your attorney contact mine. Then I request their filings, minutes, budget figured. I'd start a checklist because I've got a plan now. That afternoon, I meet Adley, late 20s, arms, like she could bench press my car. Been welcomed yet, she asks, grinning. More like pre-evicted, I say. She laughs. They said my front yard library privatized the commons. I told them the commons is the park, not my front door. They don't like sentences with facts, I say. You're going to stir the pot. I'm just reading the recipe, I say. That night, I dig through the county property records. No covenants, just my shiny new deed. I start a timeline porch visit, tow truck, deputy, neighbor notes. Leave a note for 5 houses. I'm new, just looking for information about the association and whether there are legal covenants. If you got letters or stories, let me know. Morning brings emails, scanned violation notices for flower planters, anonymous tow authorizations, a voicemail from someone who tried fighting them once. I set up a spreadsheet, date, sender, threat, payment request, legal basis, outcome. Patterns start to pop up. At noon, Consumer Protection writes back, real person, not a robot. Wants more info, starts a case. 300 doorbell rings Lark with a manila envelope of HOA threats. 1 letter claims the right to enter any property at any time. What happens if you pay the bond, I ask. Then they keep it after finding a violation like your trash cans visible for 20 minutes. Gone. That's when my irritation clicks into purpose. I call Kia. Let's do it right. For everyone. She lays out the plan, regulatory complaint, civil letters, and if the association is incorporated, demand accountability. If not, just 4 people with clipboards playing government. That's a whole different kind of letter. We gather me, Kia, Lark, Adley, a living room full of neighbors, water bottles, and cookies. Some paid dues because it seemed right. Some stopped when threats started. No talk of overthrowing anyone, just boundaries law and rebuilding something better. I jot everything down, record notes with permission, and for the first time, I feel like we might be on the right track. Next day, mailbox warning photographed and archived. Kaya sends cease and desist letters, notifies the towing company, files an affidavit with the county. I start walking the block with Lark. I'm not out for a fight, I tell him, but I'm not letting them rule by fear. We start organizing a community fund, transparent opt-in, no threats, no fines. Consumer Protection investigator wants to meet. She hears the whole story, asks for proof that dues checks went to a personal account. Turns out, Geraldine's association was dissolved years ago. My neighbor finds bank statements, dues landing in her account. Court day comes. Kia presents the clean title, the sheriff's report, the fake hearings. The judge orders them to stop. No more threats. No more fake authority. Must notify all residents that membership is voluntary. Bonds refunded. The clipboards disappear. Geraldine lists her house. No HOA mentioned. We fix the park. Hang a sign, City Park, adopted by neighbors. We run a tool library, host lemonade stands, and welcome new folks with water and a 1-page Commons Fund adopt-a-spot flyer. If anyone asks you to join, just ask for the papers. Here promises live in the open. You know what? At the end of it, it wasn't noise or threats that protected us. It was record-keeping neighbors and refusing to let fear write the rules. Next morning, just a yard sale flyer on my mailbox. Ordinary peace honestly earned. So let me ask you, should neighbors be able to make up rules just because they say so, or does owning your home mean drawing the line sometimes? Drop a comment below, share your HOA war stories, your wins, your close calls. Let's talk about what real justice and neighborliness ought to look like, because I have a feeling I'm not the only one with a stubborn mule and a story to tell.